All right, David, good morning.
Morning, Mike. David Moore, Dallas Morning News. Start with discussing your decision to keep Dak on the active roster. What went into that?
Well, I mean, I just think, the 4 guys that are injured, we'll go all the way to Friday. Just looking to rehab, obviously, has been stated already. Everybody feels good about the surgery that Dak went through. From a medical perspective, from my perspective, he had surgery. So these next 7 to 10 days, he's in a healing stage, and let's get over that hurdle first. And but I know at the conclusion of the surgery, the surgeon was very optimistic.
Todd Archer with ESPN. What will he be able to be out on the field during this healing process and at practice, watching and things like that?
Can't really. I'm not in a hurry for him. I mean, I think these next couple of days. I mean, he's, you got to heal. I mean, he had surgery, his stitches, he has all those things. So, I mean, there's threats out there that we got to be cautious.
Is he in the building?
He'll be in the building today.
Okay. Clarence, before we start telegram, is 4 weeks aggressive, and can you go into the process of why not go get a quarterback from outside?
That's an excellent question, but I think really, I mean, the way I'm looking at it, and I can't be more forthcoming here. I mean, really, till we get past these 7 days, I think then we'll have a clear, a better idea. No different with, Jayron. I mean, we feel better about him today than we did on Monday. So, so we'll take a couple days, with Britt Brown in the rehab process and get more information. And, like I said, we don't have to make these decisions till Friday. So, we have some roster options that we're looking at all the angles.
What we got, Jen?
Jane Slater, NFL Network. Why are you feeling more optimistic about Jayron Kearse?
Just the way he's responded. He hasn't had this specific injury before, and but he came in here yesterday, and he's made some strides. So, but same with him. Not to put unrealistic timeline on JK is I think you have to. You got to get these guys into rehab, and obviously Britt he's outstanding to get these guys to return to play as good as anybody I've ever been around. So, and hey, these guys want to play. I mean, they want to get back. No one wants to go on IR. So, but we'll just keep working and see where we are come Friday.
How good do you feel about Cooper going into this game than you did going into that Minnesota game, having seen him in a live game?
Another good question. I think that's good. I think that's, when you have a chance to go through one experience, with your quarterback, and Cooper showed us a lot that day. But the other part of it is we work every day with Cooper. So he's coached smart. He's got a great disposition for the number 2. There's so much to love about Cooper. So, but most importantly, he just needs to get in there, run the offense. Let's not try to do too much, and and we gotta stay aggressive and open the things up.
Calvin Watkins, Dallas Morning News. You've been through this before, losing Dak. How does your messaging change with your team now that you got to go forward?
Well, I mean, if you want to be cliche with the next man up, but it's really a mindset, and it's a part of your resilience that you have to have each and every year. I mean, it's the National Football League. Trust me, no one wants to see anybody get injured. No one wants to see anybody lose their opportunity, but it's been happening. It happens for generations. That's the way this game is. So it's part of your DNA, and you can't get to the championship without being able to overcome those things. So, yes, it's very disappointing to lose your starting quarterback. It's extremely disappointing to lose Dak. But the reality is, we need to go beat Cincinnati, and Cooper has the reins.
Brad Sham, Cowboys Radio. You didn't mention McGovern. What's his prognosis? And you're going to have to make at least one roster move if you're going to have 2 quarterbacks dressed this week, are you not?
Correct.
So what's McGovern's prognosis?
McGovern's prognosis is he's a little better than we thought, coming out of the game Sunday. So, but he will not be available this week. But we'll see what next week looks like.
Michael
Galkin, Dallas Morning News. There were some instances Sunday where it looked like the right side of your offensive line was getting off the ball quicker than the left side of your offensive line. How do you get the left side of your operation a little bit more in sync?
I mean, it's just reps, and you got Cooper's. The the cadence is the same for every quarterback, and I chalk that up to experience. But nice job with your film study. But it's noted, and we're working on it. So.
James, you have another one?
Yeah, Jane Slater, NFL Network. I know you said that Dak Prescott's going to be in the building, but with him not going on IR, is the hope then that he'll be more involved in practice and on the sidelines, particularly even during the games? We've seen that in the past with guys like Tyron Smith.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and that's part of it. Because of the rules of IR, just the engagement that the players are allowed to be involved in. So, I mean, that's definitely part of the consideration. Absolutely. Could
you envision him also having a headset?
I'd be all for him having a headset. Like I said, my focus really for Dak is to get through this first stage. So if we feel good about it Sunday, then he'll be a part of it.
David.
Mike, do you feel that the game Sunday was an outlier for CeeDee Lamb as far as his performance, that you've seen him be more effective than that? And do you think some of it was just the added attention that goes with being the lead receiver and not having,
Yeah, I mean, I think clearly, when we talk about performance, and we have this conversation, it seems like the beginning of every year. I don't correct players in the media, but I will say, to your question, I mean, this is the world CeeDee's living in now. I mean, he's going to get all the attention. That was apparent. Sunday, and just definitely look at Cincinnati's and their philosophy, particularly from a coverage standpoint. They have the doubles and so forth in their plan. So whether they do it with a lurker or a thief, or ever how you want to look at it. So I mean, it's part of the challenge that's in front of them.
Mike Fisher, Sports Illustrated Fan Nation. What's your approach with Peters and maybe accelerating his plan for readiness?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously, we're all excited to have Jason here, but that's really until we get to work on the field. He's played a tremendous amount of football. He has input into how we're moving forward, and there's a level of conditioning that we need to get to, and so hopefully we can take a big step here in the next couple of days.
You ruled McGovern out. Is Kearse out as well, or is there a chance he might play?
Kearse will not play this week. McGovern will not play this week, and Dak will not play this week.
How do you replace Kearse, because that's a pretty prominent role in the defense?
Well, I mean, we got 5 safeties on the 53, so I mean, it's it's a group we feel really good about, and so those 2 young guys will get some work.
Christy Scales, Cowboys Radio. When you look at Cincinnati, what do you see in Joe Burrow?
Boy, I really like the way Joe plays. His ball accuracy is impressive. The connection he has with his whole perimeter group. Particularly, obviously, ability to throw the ball deep has really stood out. But he's slippery too. I mean, he has just his instincts in the pocket. Has a playmaker's mentality. He's athletic. But his anticipation and awareness for a young quarterback and ball accuracy is very impressive.
Jory.
Tori Epstein, USA Today. Mike, you mentioned replacing Darren from a safety standpoint, but in terms of calling out the defense, what's the challenge of replacing that, and how do you make sure there's a smooth transition?
Well, I mean, it's really would you start from day one, and frankly, if you go back to last year, we had a number of green dots. So I think that opportunity really lays up nicely for us, because now not only do we have multiple players that we feel can do it and have confidence in, we have those reps and experiences. So. We feel really good about our communication on defense. I mean, it was smooth. This past week, after we lost J.K. So I don't see that being an issue.
Hey, Coach Patrick Walker, DallasCowboys.com. On Monday, you said that Terrell Basham, there was some more testing needed to be done. What's his status going forward? And if he's not able to go against the Bengals, would this be an opportunity for Sam Williams to kind of take more?
Yes, definitely. This will be an opportunity for Sam. I left him out. Bash will not be available this week, too. So we have 4 guys out, and you're getting that on Wednesday. So, yes, Sam and Dante Fowler, you'll definitely see more of those guys.
Skyler Dixon with the AP. You knew these first 2 games were tough on paper coming out of the gate. After the downer of the opener and the challenges around that now, how mindful are you of that and the messaging of the whole bounce back with another big opponent?
Hey, obviously I have a lot of respect for the team we played last week and have a lot of respect for the team we're getting ready to play. But at the end of the day, the focus is on winning and how we're going to do it specifically. Cincinnati is an uncommon opponent. We played them 2 years ago up there. There is some carryover personnel-wise. Obviously, they were very successful last year, had a tremendous run, into the playoffs and into the Super Bowl. We're just really in tune with, we feel their strengths are, offensively. I mean, this defense plays with a tremendous amount of energy. It's a veteran defense, so they have clean understanding of their schemes. They're aggressive in their schemes. Offensively, their perimeter weapons are probably up there, as far as the top teams in the league, very comparable to Tampa. So, I mean, there's another big challenge for our defense. So, frankly, we're it's Wednesday. Wednesday's a huge day for us as far as install. The meetings are longer, and our guys are into it. We had Monday to correct it and go back through Tampa Bay, but we're clearly moved on and, what we need to do to win this game.
You see Leighton a lot before the snap, helping his teammates get lined up. How valuable is he cerebrally even before the play starts?
Yeah, definitely. I thought Leighton played very well. I mean, he graded out high. Particularly, I just think you're seeing guys clearing a year or two of this defense are very comfortable in the communication. And and it goes back to the green dot question. Leighton's definitely at that caliber of a communicator too. So we're very fortunate. I like what Anthony Barr did too. Just in his short time here. So I thought Leighton had a nice game.
Excellent segue to my question, Coach. I was going to ask, how do you grade Anthony Barr in his debut for the Cowboys?
Yeah, no, I thought Anthony did a lot of nice things. And he's just different the way, I obviously compete a lot against Anthony. I have a lot of respect for him. So, but, he's made the transition pretty smooth. He just needed probably a week or so to, get back in tune with the conditioning component of it. But he's very, very, very intelligent, has picked it up cleanly, and, you can see his experience and confidence. And I thought he did a nice job.
Clarence.
We talked about CD. What's the coaching point for the other receivers? I know Kellen Moore talked about press coverage. They had probably getting off press coverage the other day. Can you just talk about your game and what you need for them going
Yeah,
forward?
definitely. I mean, I think when you look at our receiver group, I mean, and when you see youth, you see more bump and run. I mean, that's been going on, I know, as long as I've been in the league. So when you're a younger, less experienced receiver group, that's what defenses do to you. So, and hey, if you can't defeat bump and run, I mean, the NFL's not for you. I mean, that's the ultimate, mono situation for the perimeter, and it's definitely a focus for us. We get to practice against an outstanding set of defensive backs that play a lot of bump and run and man-to-man. So we just got to keep working.
One more thing, Gallup, haven't talked about him. What's his status?
Doing well. Hopefully, we'd like to integrate Michael a little more into practice today. So maybe go from individual, maybe do some group stuff.
Still don't know about Sunday.
Just trying to integrate them more today and do some group stuff.
Mike, considering your background with quarterbacks and your history with them, how important is the thumb in throwing the ball?
Oh, shoot, very important. I mean, it's it starts with the carriage of the ball, and so yeah, it's important. That's why I think the healing part is critical. I mean, like you said, we need to. I mean, hey, trust me. And he said it right there in my locker room after the game. He's like, I'd get the surgery right now. So it's it's important, and it definitely factors in how you release the ball.
All right.
Is that it?
Thank you, Mike.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.